It is something most parents never even consider. Alcohol addiction at age 10. Sadly, though, it happens more than you think. And when it does, binge drinking can follow, as one Marin County teen found out the hard way.
Or 11 was the first time I ever drank. Poured a little bit of everything into 2 glasses. That's what I needed.
Lucas L. is 17 now, but he's living proof that it's more important than ever to start alcohol awareness at an early age.
Right as it hit my lips, I couldn't stop.
And he didn't stop for 4 years. It's stories like this that's prompting schools to take action.
Anybody know what binge drinking is?
It's getting to be such, I think, an epidemic.
Jennifer Grellman is the founder of Being Adept, a nonprofit that teaches alcohol awareness to students early and often with people who kids can relate to.
It's hard to hide from the statistics.
The statistics are sobering. In a 2009 Healthy Kids survey, 38% of high school juniors in Marin County said they binge drink, which means drinking 4 to 5 drinks within 2 hours.
It is a huge problem in Marin County. You see it with, I think it has to do with the money that's over here. I think they're intertwined.
Skip Kanishi is principal of Kent Middle School, the first school in the Bay Area to use the Being Adept program.
So we're going to be talking about alcohol and drugs today, and
which starts educating kids in 5th grade. While Marin County may have the highest high school binge drinking numbers in the Bay Area, it's a problem all over. Look at these numbers. In Contra Costa County, 26%, 27% in San Mateo County, and 32% of Sonoma County teenagers report binge drinking. Luke is among that Sonoma County statistic.
I was a kid that, people knew as, he's always high, and I wonder what he's on right now.
Luke finally got help after recovering addict turned author Nick Sheff spoke to his school about his own battle with addiction.
From the first page, I was like, wow, this is my story. We had almost the exact same experience with alcohol.
Sheff signed his book, and Luke says those words meant everything to him.
What he said was, "Dear Luke, everything's going to be all right." And that's all it took. Those couple words, I can say saved my life.
2 years sober now, Luke is captain of his high school lacrosse and basketball teams. He's also telling other kids his story as a reminder to others and himself about the dangers of addiction and the importance of staying sober.
All these great things are happening to me, and, I can just thank sobriety for it.
It is so courageous for him to be able to tell his story like that openly, so we thank Luke for that. I'm joined now by Jake Schmitt and Jennifer Grellman with Being Adept. And Jennifer, I want to start with you. I know you founded this. How do you go in and talk about something that's so sensitive to kids, especially in that age when they just kind of want to blow off adults and what you have to say is not really the important? How do you make that connection with them so that they see what you're talking about is serious?
well, really at this age, when we go into schools 5th grade, we start fairly early because what research really shows is that kids listen to other peers. So going in with adults is shown to really not have the effects that you'd have if you have peers going in. So what we do is we actually have a whole cadre of high school age seniors and above, also, you know, college age kids that come in and work on this 8-lesson curriculum. Right. And of course, it's not, a big part is knowledge. These kids need to learn at an earlier age because these numbers are being pushed down further, and everything that was going on in college is now really moving down to high school. Right. So it's not only knowledge-based, so they really know what they're dealing with in school, what the effects of drugs are, what they're going to see when they get to high school or now in middle school, but it's also perceived risk, because this is one of the biggest issues now, is you have kids, not only the use is up nationally, if you look at some of these studies we have, you know, up 12%, or 9% I should say, with 12-year-olds versus prior year in 2009.
And Jake, I bet when you go in, they see you so youthful and vibrant looking and you're kind of hip, so you're able to make that connection. What do you find with the kids is the lure, either way, that keeps them away from doing it, that you can convince them, or the lure that draws them to it?
Well, you know what's so interesting is the fact that we go into these 5th grade classrooms classrooms, in 6th grade classrooms, and the first thing that kids are saying is they've heard that drugs and alcohol are bad and that they will have these negative effects. But the first thing they're saying is, for reasons why someone would start, is stress, depression, lonely feelings. And I think that's one of the most alarming things about what's happening right now, is that kids aren't looking at drugs and alcohol as a reason to have fun or escape or be, cool. It's these really, it's this tough situation where they recognize that alcohol or drugs are a way from making sad feelings into good feelings. And that's probably the most alarming thing that I see in the classroom. And one of the biggest things that I think peer leaders and my influence actually takes hold on is we can show kids what to do to actually make sad feelings good.
And Jennifer, what's the parental component in this and how we model and how we behave around alcohol?
Well, actually, at the young age, the parents are the single most important ingredient in trying to make sure that your kids delay using drugs or alcohol. So, for example, in terms of modeling, the research shows moderate use, responsible use. If you're having a glass of wine with dinner, that's to enjoy the meal, to have the wine. Certainly don't glamorize it. And certainly don't use it for stress release, because this is what so many kids are doing now, and what they see their parents doing. And the other piece is making sure as a parent that you have conversations about this. This isn't the one-time discussion, but you start early. You start talking to your children literally end of 4th grade into 5th grade, and we show with Being Adept a sort of a parent guide for how to talk about this subject, because we're not always comfortable. We're not always comfortable with our own use, how to talk to our kids about it, and so we really guide them on what they can say so they feel empowered in this area. Also giving them websites. There's research that needs to be done. If you want to talk to your child about something, you need to know what you're talking about, and they're not going to listen.
Jake, social media, the role that this plays with kids being on the Facebook and everything else, and being able to talk about parties and drugs and all this, and finding a place, a haven away from their parents.
Well, right. And I think that's also one of the really big things about being in 2011 is, what is social media? I mean, we have TV, which is regulated, and there are commercials that are regulated by the government, but when you go and you have kids watching things on YouTube or talking on Facebook, there's no regulation, and they can learn really quickly a lot of information on the internet. It's really tough, and to navigate through that, you have to have a real sense of who you are, and you have to have really good dialogue with your parents so that they know what's going on. But social media is really tough because it's such a open, vast, crazy area.
So right now, Being Adept is only in Marin County, but do you hope to expand that to other schools so they can have that? What's the difference between what you guys do and are so successful doing than other drug prevention programs that go in? What separates Being Adept?
So first of all, we are in Marin County. We're also going to launch into Sonoma County soon. Sonoma County actually has, next to Marin County, one of the highest binge drinking rates in the state. Marin County is a little higher. We're also doing a little work in San Francisco, so we're slowly moving beyond our Marin County shores. What differentiates us, quite frankly, is a very comprehensive approach, because you have to work with the kids and you have to do more than one presentation. I mean, we come in every month for the entire year. We also incorporate the parents. So this is a multi-component program. We also have we have a film actually that just came out that we can use in the community, and we use clips of that film to demonstrate discussion points in the classroom. It might be peer pressure, it might be stress, it might be learning what different drugs do. So I would say what really differentiates us is, and this piece of using peers in the classroom, absolutely, because bar none, this is the way to get your results, the right peers. Just like having the best teacher, it's no different than being in a school. You have to have the best peers that they'll listen to and be engaged with.
Great success. And what is the website if we want to look at it?
Beingadept.org.
Beingadept.org. We're going to check it out for that parental component. Thank you for both of the work that you're doing. That's great. And also, and the documentary that you bring into, we can watch it there as well?
Yes, you bet. You can watch it there. And we also have a program in schools. We have several schools that have requested this documentary for a small licensing fee.
Great. That sounds wonderful. We'll be right back.